Helen, thank you. That's just a fascinating talk to end with. And it seemed to me that it just brought together and knitted together some of the key themes that we've heard this evening. And in literally the 2 minutes I've got, I just want to try and summarize what I think that looks like. And I think what a number of you have done, and especially Helen at the end and Sue at the beginning, is radically challenge the whole notion of rehabilitation. And I think one of the most immediate things we've got to do is move away from the concept of rehabilitation. Coaching has been put out there by Helen, got a lot of support. There may be other concepts, but then we also need to look at what the purpose of this is. And again, some words that came out from Helen at the end there about, and from a number of the other speakers, about maximizing outcomes. And then I would add to that through patient engagement and peer support, which picks up some of those other threads, that actually the way we do this is by ensuring that kind of patients are at the center of everything that happens around whatever we replace rehabilitation with, that the focus of that is about maximum outcomes for the patients, that it's about harnessing technology, even AI, not making all of this far more complicated for patients, which is something we think that may come out of that much better engagement, and that needs to be lifelong, that with some really challenging ideas about if we really grapple with what lifelong support means about this, and even the fact that maybe in 50, 100 years' time, everybody will be transitioning onto something else altogether, what does that world look like? And therefore, that needs to be invested in. So I think the other big theme that's come out of this evening is the absolute importance of investment in whatever we term rehabilitation in the future. And that investment has to be partly about how we enable users to be involved much more, to have peer support to make that happen, to have investment in technology that works and is simple, all with the aim of delivering much greater impact. And the only little thought I had on the end of that, that if we could achieve all of that, that would help drive up more people actually wanting to benefit from cochlear implants, because it would seem like a much more natural choice that fitted with their lives, rather than something that may appear rather daunting to some people at the moment. But I also want to end by thanking all the contributors, because we've all listened to a lot of seminars over the years, but I'm not sure we've had so many radical thoughts pulled together in an hour and a half in anything I've heard on cochlear implants for a long, long time. And that's exactly what we wanted to achieve by this. So thank you to you all. And I'm sure we will want to move ahead with another CIICA conversation on this, because there's so much more to unpack out of tonight. I think we could go on for hours and hours, but we can't. So thank you very much. And hopefully that brings some order to what's been one of the most challenging and thoughtful seminars that I've attended for a long time.
Thank you, Brian. Last slide, please, to finish off with. And I just reiterate, well, I won't say them again, but thank you, Brian. I totally agree with all those comments. Really thoughtful. Things are burning around in my head. If they're burning around in your head, please send them to info@ciicanet.org and we'll start putting them together. We've developed current issues, which is starting to gain some traction in the community members site. If you've got something to put on there to kick this off, a discussion in there, we would be really grateful. And as Brian said, there's a CIICA conversation to come about adult rehab. There'll be a CIICA conversation to come, as Bowen said, about young adults with cochlear implants. And there's one on the 7th of December run by Anita Grover and Helen Cullington on experiences of telepractice.